everybody, we're proud to announce our Saturday morning cartoons brought to you by Hey Poopy Podcast.
Dumping every fourth Saturday of the month.
Stories taken directly from our interviews. These are one-of-a-kind masterpieces of hilarious proportions.
Animated by Matt Holtzclaw, our very first guest of the podcast.
We are so excited, we're going to poop our pants!
For more information, go to heypoopypodcast.com.
Hey Poopy, how you doing? Hey Poopy, how you doing?
I'm just, trying to find a place with like-minded people to talk about like-minded things about me, about poop and stuff.
Hey Poopy, how you doing? Hey Poopy, how you doing?
Oh man, what's this right here? Is this a podcast about poop?
And now, the Hey Poopy Podcast with Dave and Ellen.
Okay. All right. We are back on dump day.
Woo-woo!
And
This
what-
is the Hey Poopy Podcast with
Dave?
and Ellen, and this is episode 67, but it'll always be number 2 to us.
Yes.
And we have a very special guest today, the other half of Kyle Bonbon's amazing stories. We have Luke Eternity.
Howdy, howdy.
Hey, Luke. Thanks for being on the show.
Of course, thank you for having me. Really excited.
Awesome.
I am beyond excited because Kyle's stories were legendary, and it's so awesome to hear the first eye account of most of those stories.
Oh, yeah.
I'll say there was something I think that you guys said in that episode that I'm kind of like the Robin to his Batman. Kyle is definitely Batman. I will give him that accolade. He deserves it. There might be other things that I'm Batman in and he's my Robin, but in this, he definitely is Robin. And I've done my best to keep up, but his stories they're pretty epic.
Oh, yeah.
His pooping is a little more Batman than your pooping.
I mean, I have my moments, but as you heard, a lot of those moments are with him. So
He's on a different level than you are, I guess. He's like,
I've rarely seen anybody be that cavalier with taking
the
a
pizza
shit.
box was by far
Oh man,
top 5 epic stories.
Yeah, hilarious.
I'll never forget it.
Neither will we, and we weren't even there.
It's one of those things where everybody thinks about it when they're stuck in traffic. I've seen somebody do it.
Yeah.
In the car with you.
Yeah.
I mean, he did say that. He's like, you're a great friend. So, which I have to admit.
We do have a special relationship, and this is one element of that we were able to do. Like to this day, if we had to do that again, I would let him do it. And if it was that bad for me, I'd expect the same from him. So,
of course. And for the listeners out there,
Yeah.
if you want to go back and hear that awesome story, go back to episode 28 with Kyle Bonbon. You can hear a really good pizza box poop story. So check that out.
Yeah, that's an epic one. So, Luke, before we go into why you're Kyle's best friend, we like to go into how your poo's been.
thank you for asking. I would say, obviously that this COVID-19 situation has changed some lives. I think my life hasn't been changed that drastically by it. Because my poops have been the way they almost always are. I'm not really experiencing anything different because of staying at home all day. In fact, I'd say they might even be a little bit healthier.
Oh.
Nice.
But
Like you're not eating junk food?
Exactly. Less junk food, more exercise. But I have a thought that once we start getting down to like our canned stuff and we're scraping the bottom of the barrel, I might see some more, but have some more trouble getting them out.
Oh God, please do not. I don't want a Walking Dead this where we're only surviving off of canned food.
Oh, no, I can't handle that. Fuck that shit.
And kill me before that, please.
If I can't handle like that Cormac McCarthy book, The Road, I can't deal with that kind of life. I'm like, just kill me, because I at that point I'm like, that's not really living anymore.
No. Luke, did I send you the Bristol stool chart? Did you see it? Do you know
did, yes.
what number is your dues?
So I range from type 1 and type 5 in the morning.
Oh.
So it comes out because that's my routine. I wake up in the morning, I go, and it's almost always after a cup of coffee. It's kind of like a surefire thing. I'll have a cup of coffee. Within 10 minutes, I'm on the toilet, and it's coming out in droplets, plops, plops, plops.
Soft or hard, though?
They're hard. They're more hard.
Oh, so that is more of a type 1.
Yeah, I would say type 1. Type 5 sometimes, but then as the day goes on, I'll range kind of all over the place. But oftentimes I'll have type 4. Like it'll be sitting in there for a while, it seems like, and coming out nice and long.
Whoa.
Okay.
That's the best kind.
It is a nice kind. But I do have some problem with like acidity and oils sort of causing some turmoil up in there. So a lot of times I'll just have 7 all the way through. Like watery diarrhea, basically.
So you pretty much run the chart then. You're like 1 through 7.
It's true because I don't always. It's not. I would say like the morning is always constant, and then maybe about midday I've got a long one, and then anything goes at night. Like
right.
Anything can happen.
Right.
Wow.
It's a freestyle.
So on average, are you pooping like, it sounds like 4 or 5 times a day?
No, I would say, so it's definitely twice.
Uh-huh.
And 3 if, it just depends on, I guess, how my stomach's feeling. Or if the morning is like, not, you don't get a full evacuation done, you might have to be back there.
Right.
Maybe a second cup of coffee brings you back to the throne, but 4 would be a lot for me. And if it's a 4 situation, I think that would be like I've probably got some like gut trouble that's causing me some discomfort.
Some extreme evacuation.
Exactly. Mud butt, yeah.
And
Dave, what about you? How's your poo-poo?
Mine are still kind of loose. I've been eating pretty healthy. I think that, but I've been snacking a little bit here and there with like peanuts, or like I had some grapes this morning, which is really nice. Oh. So it's kind of like a mixed bag. Like, but I would say 5, 6 actually. Wow. Not too solid. But I've been eating kind of fairly healthy. But again, I've been snacking a little bit, so I think that's just mixed in with that. I'm not getting that 4, that gold standard 4.
Yeah.
But it's okay. In the wake of all this shit that's going along, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. Stress in the guts is a real thing.
Yeah, exactly. So no pressure. Yeah. How have your poops been, Ellen?
This morning I had kind of a type 4.5. Like it was sausage-like, but it was like breaking off, like there was like seaweed hanging from it. It was like a little bit looser. It wasn't as compact as I'd like it to be. But I ate pretty much vegetarian yesterday, and I had this like veggie soup, and so I just think it's like the vegetables aren't like as binding as if I had some like rice in there or something,
Right.
Keeping it together.
Okay.
But at least through all this craziness, I'm shitting pretty good. So Luke, tell us more about yourself besides being Kyle Bonbon's best friend and fart accompaniment.
I guess I don't know. I don't think I'm personally that interesting, but Kyle and I grew up in Cranberry, New Jersey, which is where I still live, and I I was working for Princeton University as a venue manager, like whenever the university would put on like concerts or big lectures or shows or what have you. But I'm actually out of work right now because none of that's going on.
Yeah.
Because of the virus. But other than that, you know, I'm just kind of a average Joe. I like to go. I think this is also something that was talked about. I like to go backpacking with Kyle, and that's where, and like hiking and stuff, and that's where he showed me the smooth stone option for wiping.
Oh yeah.
Which, if anyone's not tried that, I really think it could. I think it could probably take over the TP market if we really wanted it to.
Do you think that's where the whole 3 seashells in Demolition Man came from then?
I don't know.
Have you seen that movie?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you should watch it. So, long story short, Sylvester Stallone's character is in the future, and he goes to the bathroom, and there's only 3 seashells where the toilet paper is supposed to be. And he's like, how the fuck are you supposed to wipe your ass with 3 seashells? So I'm wondering if the stone thing is similar to that.
I don't know. I just know that it surprised me how well it worked and how comfortable it was, quite honestly.
I mean, look,
well,
if you're out in nature, I'm sorry, I didn't cut you off.
Well, that's because I like to go hiking and backpacking and stuff. That's proved very, very useful. Yeah, I guess that kind of rounds me out a little bit. I like to use stones when I poop outside. Is it come so useful that you will not bring toilet paper with you at all while backpacking and just look for stones? Oh, absolutely. I don't bring any TP. No way.
Wow.
That's brave.
I'm
now I'm gonna have to try it.
I almost prefer it. There's something to be said for the easiness of TP. It's definitely easier, but I don't know. Maybe it's just something. Maybe it's just a change of pace that I like. Who knows?
Right. Something different for your butt. I mean, I do like.
Yeah, there you go.
I do like the idea of like you kind of like don't bring in paper. You just kind of come out with what you left with. I'm sorry. You go into camping or hiking, I should say, and you only bring what you need. You don't need all this extra sort of like what's basically wind up as waste. So, because I imagine you're not going to just leave a bunch of disgusting toilet paper out in the wild. You have to carry that back with you, which no one wants to do that. So, the stone seems like a pretty awesome idea. Oh, I guess so.
Yeah,
that's true.
You can vary it, but then again, you're still carrying it, and you still have to. Anyway, I don't need to push you hard on this stone thing.
No.
If you're out there and nature calls, give it a shot.
All right.
No, I think we should try it. I'll put my butthole to the test.
I like to try different things,
So, Luke, we sent you some of the questions. Did you make any notes? Do you want to start by telling us anything, or should we dive right into asking you something?
You can go ahead and ask them. I've got some things, but you can. We'll follow the structure. We'll do the structure.
No, there's never any structure. We're very loose here.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. Whatever you want to do.
Tell us about your side of the whole pizza box thing. Like, when you decided that Kyle was going to shit his pants, and you were like, just fuck it, dude, go for it. Like,
I think it was. I'm pretty sure we were in college, and we were going through the typical college crazy thing, like do whatever the fuck you want to do kind of phase. So, and well, that's true and it's not true, because like going back, Kyle and I have been doing weird stuff like that. I mean, I definitely remember the story he told about me pooping out of my treehouse, and watching and going to look at the poop and seeing the craters in it. I didn't know that he was scared to sleep over because of that. I didn't know that. But my earliest memory is an interesting one. So I have an older cousin who, when I was very little, and I'm talking like one of my earliest memories. So like I must have been like 4 or 3, not really, really young. He was like older than me, and I thought he was really cool. And we didn't see him that often. And he came over for a visit, and I don't know why, but somehow he convinced me that it would be fun to go poop on our neighbor's kids' play stuff. And I mean, like the little house, the little playhouse, the little like slide, the sandbox. I don't like, you know, like that kids climb on and play on. And I don't know what, and like really this is an indictment of my cousin. I don't know why he thought that would be, like, it's pretty mean when you think about it. And he had me do all the poops. Like, I was the one who pooped. He just directed me.
How did he know you had poop in the chamber ready to go to poop?
It was so long ago that I don't remember if it was one of those things where he was like, okay, I got this plan. It's going to take a couple hours and we'll wait till you're ready. Or if I said something like, I got to poop, Ryan. And he was like, well, okay, well, here, we'll go over here. I don't know. I don't remember. But it's interesting because that's my first memory of pooping, really. And it was kind of shameful because we got in a lot of trouble for that.
Oh, I'm sure you did.
Like,
how did he know it was you?
I distinctly remember my dad like rounding up all the kids and like being like, all right, who did it? and Ryan being like, my cousin being like, did what? And my dad was like, who did the poop? And apparently I was like, what poop? And it just sounded really guilty.
Yeah, he's like, you did it.
And it didn't take that long for it to come out.
And how old were you about?
Pretty young. Like, I'm just gonna guess like 4 or 5. Like really not much older than like kindergarten. Really, like pretty fucking young. Like,
oh, that's hilarious.
I thought you were gonna say I was like 15.
Yeah, no. Oh, I definitely have like other, you know, I probably have different poop stories from when I'm older. But ironically, not much longer after that poop story, I went fishing with my dad once when we were on vacation. And my dad has always had what he describes as the family stomach, which really means if we eat unhealthy, we have diarrhea. So, and he always goes on about it. And I'm like, Dad, and now that I'm older, I'm like, Dad, just like, you know, watch what you eat. I don't know, drink a little less coffee, drink a little less red wine. I don't know, less spaghetti, you'll probably be all right. He's like, no, it's the family stomach. So, when I was little, we went fishing in a boat, and we weren't going to make it to shore when the stomach hit my dad, and I just remember him, like, you know, in one of the little fishing boats, like, getting the motor going as fast as it would go. He's like, I gotta go, and I'm not much older than after this last thing happened with the Playmobil poops, and he cuts the motor, and he's like, I can't do it, and he starts stripping. And he dives into the lake, and just,
oh my God!
I'll never forget because, and it's also funny to know who my dad is. My dad's like an ex-Navy pilot. He's like pretty well put together. He's like pretty, I don't know, straight-laced and upright.
Right.
And I'll never forget like seeing him dive into this lake and like swim and just like trails of shit just like out of his pale ass, just like as he's swimming, just like having a horrible time in the lake.
Oh my God.
And it happened really quickly. Like, you know, this was not. And I remember him just like getting back. And this is the first time I also saw like a penis. It was a penis. It was my dad's full nude body. That was like the first time. A lot of first things happened in that boat that day. And
he got naked before he jumped in, or naked while he was in the water?
He stripped in the boat and jumped in.
So
And
funny.
He had enough time to do that.
He sure did. I mean, it was quick though. It was like really like, just hopped in.
So
and then
good.
he came back in. He was so embarrassed. He was so mortified. He was like, you can't tell anybody.
Until
And
now.
I think I was too young to be like, okay, yeah. I think I told my sister like immediately what happened.
Amazing.
But, those two poop stories are my earliest memories.
Those are fantastic.
Yeah. It reminds us of Bob's poop tree.
Oh yeah.
We had a guest on who literally used to poop out of a tree when he was a child.
Yeah, I feel bad about that one, but then again, I was
You were
being
a kid.
manipulated.
Yeah. And you
By my
were
older cousin.
and you were a kid too. It wasn't like, he did this when you were like 20.
That's true. That's true. I'm happy to say since then I've never used poop for evil. I've never used it at oh god, except for the one time I tried to prank Kyle back and got poison ivy in my asshole.
Oh yes.
Oh, yeah, he tells us that story. Tell it again.
Oh,
Please.
God. All right.
Sorry, I know
Fuck.
it sounds painful. Sorry.
Well, so I'm super religious poison ivy. I get it every year, no matter what I do. If it's on the wind and it blows my way, I'm getting it. And Kyle, and this was in high school, he fucked with my car. I forget exactly what he did, but long story short, I decided to try to fuck with him, and for some reason I decided, like, I'll take a shit and I'll put it in a bag and I'll leave it in his car or something. And long story short, I took a shit in some bushes nearby the car, and there was poison ivy on it. So
I was wondering. Oh, so it's in the bushes.
yeah, it was just like sort of nearby. And the worst part is his car was locked, so it's not like I could do anything about it. I just like hung the bag on the antenna outside the car. So,
I mean, you went that far.
Yeah. Not only did it not affect him, it backfired hard on me.
Was that the first time you got poison ivy on your balls?
I think I'd had it on my balls before, but
Kyle did
and I've
mention
had
that.
it periodically.
He did mention that in the episode. Kyle did mention that. He's like, Luke has gotten poison ivy on his nuts like a bunch of times.
It's tough because it'll be on my hands from just being in the world,
Yeah.
touching things, and then I'm gonna have to scratch my nuts at some point, and that's probably when it happens. But I've already had it this year. I've already had it on my
God.
on my penis.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
But,
right after we recorded with Kyle, like not even a week later, he texted us, Luke got poison ivy
Yes.
on his balls again.
I forgot about
Yeah.
that.
Okay. Yeah.
He did text us
It's
that.
true. It happened.
Oh, poor Luke.
The poison ivy on my butt was horrible.
Yeah, that,
so bad.
that sounds like a nightmare. Oh,
So what the weirdest thing was when I had it and I would take a shit, it was a mixture of pleasant feeling because it was like scratching the itch as it came out, but then I would wipe and it would just like irritate it. So it was a bittersweet moment when I had to go to the bathroom. It was bad. Because they were like raised bumps. They were like raised bumps all over my asshole, and it was just
God.
I could like feel each one as the poop slid over each bump. Like it's just it was,
Oh, and how long does it take you to get rid of this?
Well, if it's constantly being irritated, a lot longer. So, like if you scratch it and you irritate it, it just sticks around. And I think I had it on my butt probably for like a solid week.
Wow.
Oh,
And normally it's like a day or like three days for it to be totally gone if I don't bother it and I like take care of it.
oh my God.
But-
That sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. I've been very careful since then.
Good.
It hasn't happened since then.
Knock on wood. Knock on wood.
Knock on wood.
Oh my God.
Yes. Yes.
And have you? We love this question. Floor versus pants. It sounds like you're a floor type person.
You know what? This one gave me a pause. Well, actually, can you explain exactly what you mean by the floor pants question?
It is like Bristol 7, like complete butt pee-pee is coming out of you, and you have no toilet in sight, and you have a choice to shit your pants or find someplace on the ground to make a do. What do you choose? Shitting your pants or pulling it down? And location is totally... it's like you could be in the New York City subway, you can be in the middle of the woods, you could be anywhere. To be at work, like it's your choice where location is. But where would you prefer to do? In your pants or on the ground?
So it's a moral conundrum for me, actually, because I'd rather shit on the floor because then it's not. It's like I could do that and theoretically walk away from that situation as if nothing had happened to me personally.
Yeah.
Yes.
But who's cleaning that up? You know, if I'm on the subway, I'm on like near people, that's not very considerate to them.
Well, I think post shit.
Yeah.
When you're like when it's happening, I think post shit like aftermath, you're not really concerned with so much. This is like do or die kind of situation. What are we doing here?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'll say this. I don't know if you guys also have had this, but in the last 10 years or so, I have shit my pants twice. I don't know if that's normal, and I'm talking about like shat them, like really filled them up.
Oh,
like didn't shart like it was D-Day.
well, please, please do share.
Like this one was like probably like 5, 6, like 7 years ago. I was courting a young lady, and we were just like going for a walk once. Like I came over to her house, we went for a walk, and like sometime I don't know why, I don't remember like what brought it on, but sometime during the walk I had to go. And we've all been there. You're walking, and it's just horrible trying to hold it in as you're walking because the walking's just making you want to get it out faster, and then you're trying to mentally calculate how soon you'll be at the toilet, and then your bowels start to relax. So, like halfway through the walk, I was like, okay, it's pretty dire. But then I was like, okay, we're on our way back. We get to the door, and as she's like opening the door and like unlocking it, like fumbling with keys to get it open, I remember like I felt my shorts like move away from my body like an inch.
Oh my God.
And I like immediately was just like, I must have looked white as a sheet. And I was like, because I was like,
is this a first date?
It wasn't a first date.
Oh, thank God.
It was somebody I had known, and it wasn't like too weird, but we were still like, kind of just starting to get friendlier.
Right.
And it just, that is the worst it's ever been for me. Like a full shit. Just complete. Like I'm telling you, I felt my shorts move, like with the weight.
Oh my God!
But luckily we were right outside our house, and I remember so my car was like right there, and I was like, oh my God, I forgot something. I was supposed to do so I had to do some like paperwork for like my parents, and she was like, what? And I was like, I'll be right back. Because I wasn't that far from my house. So I was like, I'm sorry, I really forgot. I gotta like jump in the car. Like I'll be right back. So I jumped in that car and I sat in my puddle.
Oh no!
Drove home.
You were
and
still shitting.
I think. Well, that's actually no, because believe me, it happened. It like all came out at once, and that was. It was just like, and that was over. but the amount was a full size. Anyway, so I drove home, I changed, and luckily I only lived like 5 minutes from her, so like I was back there in like 15 minutes.
Wow, that's impressive. That is fucking impressive.
Like nothing happened.
Jesus.
And she had no clue.
She didn't. She was, in fact, I mean, I felt kind of guilty because I think she was like, she thought something was wrong. She was like, "Are you okay? Like, is something wrong with like your family?" I don't know.
You're like, yes, all the above.
Yeah, it wasn't good. And then the second time in the last 10 years, it was just after a breakfast at a diner where I had something crazy like pork belly, eggs Benedict or something like that. You know, we were like driving home from the day. Like the diner was like 20 minutes away from home, and I wasn't making it. I was like, we gotta pull over. We gotta find something. And we found like a strip mall, and like, I don't remember what store it was, but like, I was on my way to the bathroom in the store. And it was one of those stores where the bathroom's all the way at the back.
Oh.
And I just started, as I got like to like midway through the store, I just started coming out. And by the time I got to the bathroom, I threw the underwear away. The underwear had to go.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So
yes.
I came out of that bathroom commando.
I have to give it to you.
I don't know. Is that it? Yeah.
I have to give it to you
So
because...
you pantsed it.
Yeah, you pantsed it twice. But I do have to give it to you for like going back to see the first story, going back to see the girl, because I would have been like, well, I'm never going to see her again. I just would have never...
I covered it.
I mean, that's fantastic. I mean, just the thought of you like running to the side of just the thought of you running back to the car and then sitting down in that cold wet. Oh my God, that just.
It was warm. It wasn't. It wasn't.
Oh, it was still warm, right?
Warm.
It was still warm. Okay. Oh.
Yeah, it's true. I passed it those times, but is that like? What about for you guys in the last 10 years? Have you had like full on? It's going down in the pants.
I've pantsed it.
My biggest pants story happened like over 15 years ago, but I've sharded-esque in my pants in the past like even year, but not a full like solid. And when I did it like 15 years ago, I was literally in line for a public bathroom, and it was coming out of me, and I was like, I wanted to scream at these women in front of me, like, you need me to go first. And it was the kind where, like, while I'm finally down sitting on the toilet, I'm like shivering and shaking and sweating and all of the above, and I'm just like, oh my God, I have to throw my underwear away. Like, I can't believe this is happening to me in public.
Yeah, I shit my pants riding my bike home. Riding my bike home, like just shit my pants. Just turned a corner. I was like, "What the?" Just like it happened so fast, and I'm like, "Oh, great!" Now I have to. And I was only about halfway home, so I had to ride the rest of the way like standing up because it was just like.
When was this?
This was like probably like 4 years ago, maybe. Okay. I can't remember the time. It's definitely within the 10 year block. Like within the last 10 years, I shit my pants. But yeah, it happened like somewhat recently, within the last let's say 5 years ago, between now and 5 years ago. So definitely that sucked. And I've come close running. Like I run a lot, and for sure, I've gotten home and like it's just maybe kissed my I got a little like just like the edge of my shorts kind of thing. But like if I had waited like another like 30 seconds, it would have been full like just a nightmare. So, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, the biking one was the worst because I was like, my stomach kind of feels weird. And whenever I was coming down this hill, I'm turning on this one street to go towards my street, and then it just unleashed. I couldn't control it. It was so crazy. So yeah, I've been there.
All right, so it's not that weird that in the last 10 years I've done that twice.
No.
But
there's probably the percentage of people that have shit their pants. I'm sorry, Alan, go ahead.
Yeah.
Luke, you have to listen to the other episodes than just
I do.
because we
Yeah.
literally have a guest on once a week who shit their pants. You're not alone.
That's good to know. That's good to know. I guess having done it in my pants, I guess I would choose the floor, unless it's an inconsiderate social move. I don't know.
Well, thank you for those epic stories. What
Yeah.
kind of brand of toilet paper do you like, and do you hang it on the roll over or under?
I hang it under, and I don't have a preference. You know, whatever's there, but under for sure. I'm actually very particular about that. It just for some reason the over looks weird to me.
Thank you. It looks ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's a completely aesthetic thing for me.
I'm with you.
I don't know.
I'm I'm an under.
What are you, Ellen?
I'm an over person, and I think it's funny every time there's an over person guest on the show. Dave is like, "It's okay. I'm easygoing. I'll do whatever." But whenever there's an under person, Dave's like, "Yeah, finally, thank you."
Well, because there's not that many of them.
Crazy.
There's not that many of them. It's just like.
No,
And it's
you're
like,
supposed to fight back even with the over people.
I don't
but you
care.
almost like cave to them.
I don't cave to them. It's just silly. I just at a certain point I'm like, ugh, they don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, but you're like high-fiving the unders, and then you're like, well, you know, I'm okay. I'll
It's like
go with the flow
the
to
unders.
the overs.
The unders are the cool club. The overs are like, you know, you guys are like, you're like, this is the lame argument every time someone with an over says, oh well, the patent said that the the patent is like positioned with on the over thing, which I'm like, who gives a shit? That, like, I mean, for all you know, the guy could have the person that drew the fucking toilet paper roll drew it backwards or like just didn't do it correctly. So we don't have any factual. I just think it's a load of shit. Also, it's just like, even if, okay, so what? The original like sketch for the toilet paper was like drawn like with it going in the over position. I mean, things can be improved. Under is an improvement.
You're fighting against gravity if you're fighting against gravity.
Completely.
If you're doing over. I don't know why.
Like people act
why
like, you
would
know, like would you drive the first car that ever came out versus a car that's out today? No, you wouldn't do that because you'd die. It's just like, well, the first car was, who gives a shit? Like, you know, things can be improved. That's what I'm getting at.
I'm with you.
Thank you.
Okay, you guys. All right.
I've never heard anyone be this passionate about it. I'll take it into account. I'm doing something very,
like,
very admirable.
I would say like 98% of the guests we have on are over people. So, you know, I'm in a minority, but that's fine.
What's going on here?
Hey, you know.
I'm just going to come over your houses and turn it to the right way, and that's it.
Savage.
Oh, there's room for all. Room for all. I'm going to run into a sideways place.
Yeah, right?
Look, it sounds like your family belly that you and your dad have, where you all of a sudden, and maybe it's a generation thing, you have to ask if your grandfather and everybody else has this family stomach that just explodes with seconds before you know what's going on. But if you do have diarrhea or even constipation, what are your best cures for those things?
You know, I don't really have a great cure. I'm always open to new solutions. If it's diarrhea, it's just got to get out. Better out than in. Constipation. Usually, if I'm like, I'll do this thing where I like pump my stomach with my fists, like, or my hands, and I'll like rock back and forth. I'll like stand up a bunch, and like if I can't like get up and walk around and I'm stuck in one place, I'll get up and I'll like bend over. I'll like smack my stomach around a little bit to get it like moving. It doesn't always work, but like eventually it works. You just gotta give it enough time.
Wow, I've never heard of that technique.
I mean, you gotta, if you move around, that works. But if you're stuck in a stall, just a few good pumps on the tummy. I don't know.
I used to have a friend, like, in my 20s, I ate and drank everything that's so bad for you and like did not care about my body. And I would get constipated to the point where like farts would get stuck in me. And I had this one good friend who would literally massage the farts out of me. And so she would do that, but it wouldn't move the poop. It would just move like, she would like rub my side of my tummy and all of a sudden I'd blast like huge farts.
Right. Right. Yeah, like it doesn't always work for me, but it's and constipation is really painful for me. It's not fun, and it often takes a long time.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I'm always open to suggestions about what might work, but it's one of those things where just try to nip it in the bud before it even happens. I guess where I don't know. So another question you were probably going to ask was like what I like to use to help pooping, and that's where supplements would probably be useful. But I have found just a good old squatty potty to be pretty helpful, and that I introduced to myself like probably 3 years ago, and since then I'm really happy with it.
Yeah, I love my squatty.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
and I gifted Dave one, and it's a huge game changer.
That's great.
It is.
I love it.
I wish I had a bidet, because those are very nice.
That's also a major game changer.
Yeah, man, just get yourself one.
Yeah, believe me, I'm considering it. I know Kyle and Jillian have one. I've used theirs before. And I believe there's some connection. Isn't there a connection with you guys in that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if our promo code still works, but there are so many different brands and different things that you can do, and we highly suggest it. Dave got me on the bidet because I didn't realize there were Snap-on ones until we started this podcast, and he told me about it, and it's I don't understand how anybody dry wipes. It's just crazy.
I know.
It's nuts. Well, you can
it
also
is life-changing.
You can also get a travel bidet. Like they have like little travel bidets, and there's a company called, which is the fucking funniest name ever. It's a new company called Kulo Clean, which is a little cap that it's genius. It's a little cap that fits onto like all kinds of like water, like plastic water or soda bottles. So you can make your own like little bidet. So if you want to like if you go hiking, perhaps, or if you're at home and you don't have a little Snap-on bidet, just get this little screw-on cap, and then bam, there you go.
Yeah,
I feel like Dave talks about this Kulo Clean in every single episode.
I know, and I didn't
like 5. No, but I'm just saying, like, we need to contact them because they need to be advertising with us. Like,
I just saw
we haven't even used the product yet, and we are all about it.
I just you know what? Like, I have never used it before, but the name is so funny that I have to say it because it's just Kulo Clean. Like that's just like the best thing. Like asshole clean. That's the best fucking thing ever. I mean, how do you like not like? It just every time it makes me laugh just thinking about it. So yeah, I had to like just say it.
I'm writing it down next to Sunchokes right now.
Perfect.
Onto my list.
You're learning so much from this interview, Luke.
Indeed I am.
Is there anything else, Luke, you want to bring to the podcast before we go into our other segments?
Sure. I'll fire off some answers to the questions. How about does that work?
Yeah.
Okay. So my girlfriend and I have a pretty open like poop relationship. It's not as extensive as it is with Kyle. Because that is, as he said, a strong open door policy. But my girlfriend, without exposing her way too much, she every time she takes a shit, she has to smell it, and I don't really understand it. Like I guess she just every time, like, or not every time, but if it's like interesting, she's like, oh, that's she's really interested in it. And then she's also, I have never
her own poop or your poop.
Her own, but she's also she's also very interested in anything I produce. As far like not my poops, but my farts are very interesting to her. If they're if they're like noteworthy enough to have like, oh, that's an interesting one because it's not normal. But I've never met anyone else who has a more musical butt. She just something about it. It's like she's like a trumpet, tromboner, and tubist all in one, depending on the pitch. It's just like, and the volume is something I've never heard before. So between the two of us, like we're pretty, free with how we approach our poop talk.
You guys have to eat sunchokes together, and I want to hear a full report back about what happens.
Yeah, believe me, I would.
That's what's gonna happen.
Like that's yeah. So her parts are like that, but they're like draw that out like 3 times as long, and in the middle put like a dip, like in her bed.
I don't know if I have that. Let's see.
It'll move up and down. Yeah, but they'll be like it'll come back up.
Oh,
like
shit.
she'll have three movements.
Yeah, I don't think I have that in my repertoire.
Yeah, I've never. It's like the lungs back there are pushing out something more prestigious than the rest of us for some reason.
That's amazing.
I don't have any really like poop related things at my job, which is, I guess, kind of boring. I guess I will comment on because I work at a college. A lot of times, the college students are like really noisy. Like they'll have a lot of, I don't know whether it's like with the food in the cafeteria, but like the poops themselves are loud. And then you can always tell when you're like pooping next to a professor or something because they just like they're really vocal. They're like, like really like letting you know how they like feel. And this is something that I've come across with like talking to people like just in men's rooms in general, as opposed to women's rooms.
Oh, yeah.
Being a lot louder.
Yes.
Like far less discreet. And that's, obviously I think that's like a social problem that we need to get over. But like, I don't know what it is about a college, but like you can always tell when it's like an older professor who just doesn't give it. He's probably tenured. He's just like, ah!
Yes.
Like in the stall next to you.
Oh yeah. I'm 100% with you. It's probably like this.
There you go.
There's a lot of that.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's hilarious.
And I guess I do like a half sit stand when I wipe. It's like a crouch.
Oh, that's a new one.
In between.
I feel like everybody would do that.
No, and most people are a sitter. We've had a couple standers.
Yeah, that's
when
weird.
it was first brought to us, the standing sit-in question, we were so beyond I can't even talk. Flabbergasted that was even a thing.
Yeah,
but
I think it's strange.
Yeah, we're learning that it is a thing.
You're contracting your butt, like you're just squishing things in tighter.
Oh, completely. You're whoopie pieing yourself. You're just squishing the turd between your cheeks.
Yeah, what's up with that?
I
don't know.
Oh my god. Well, I like this in between thing. We usually have a stander, a sitter, and now you've like brought two worlds together.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I like get up. I get up a good like, like a good foot, or like my butt's like a good like I don't know, half a foot from the toilet when I'm wiping. I don't know. Like,
whoa.
I'm trying to recreate it right now. Yeah, it's a crouch.
You're lifting off the seat to get there.
Yes.
Like my boyfriend does the lean because he can't get in just sitting, so he leans always to his left to like get in there.
Oh, yeah.
He's broken the toilet seat because he keeps like 200-pound man leaning constantly on one side.
Yeah, you gotta get on your heels. Get on your heels.
Exactly.
And I always like stroke backwards with my wiping. I don't know if that's like a thing that most people don't. Like I draw it away from me, and then if I'm feeling like it's really necessary, I'll do like a counter stroke as well on the next wipe. But it's almost always like stroking away, like wiping away from me, like towards my back, drawing it that way.
Most people I know go from front to back. The back to front wipers, I think, are just crazy because, especially if you have a vagina, like you're getting shit in your vagina.
You'll push it. Yeah, you'll push it. It's dangerous. I only do it on like a later wipe once I know like things are generally clean. It's like a last thing if I want to see if there's anything left.
Oh my god. Well, should we? If you don't have anything else, should we get into Let's Get Shitty?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is our complaint department of the podcast, and it doesn't have to be. It does not have to be poop related. So I'm going to play this little intro, and then we'll get right into it.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for Let's Get Shitty.
All right. If you got something that's been stuck in your craw, let it out. This is the place to do it.
Okay.
So.
Do you have anything, Luke? You don't necessarily have to go first.
I do, and it's poop related.
Oh, awesome! Woo! There you go.
Yeah, well, it's dog poop related.
That's still it's good.
Yeah,
you get a.
And I don't know why it happened. I've never seen. I grew up with dogs. I've always had dogs, and so the other morning I came downstairs, and my dog had gotten out of where she was supposed to be, and because we keep her where we let them sleep in an area where they can't get to the cat's litter box and the cat's food.
Okay.
So she got out of there, and I don't know what else would have triggered this, but like she probably got into the cat poop, the cat litter box, and like coming down the stairs in the morning, like I have a view of like the living room carpet. And I've never seen such a broad range of turds, almost wall to wall. Like normally, like when somebody takes a shit or any animal takes a shit, it'll be like, boop, there it is. This was like near this wall, near that lampshade, like all over the place, like little droplets, like. And I don't know why. I've never seen that. Like, I don't know if she, like, got into cat poop. She was feeling sick or something. And, like, what she knew, she was like, I'm not supposed to be doing this. Like, I'm doing something wrong. So I'll try to, like, stop the poop. And then, like, move to another area and then poop there. I don't really know. But I just, like, it's like, if you have a pet or something, you're going to deal with, like, some shitting on their pissing on the floor at some point. Like, whatever. But at least it's, like, one spot. I've never seen it where it's like the whole floor, like little everywhere. I don't know. I just.
I would love. It
was just like, well, good fucking morning. Like,
yeah.
Jesus.
I would love to see the closed circuit television of that footage. Like what happened? That's just fucking crazy.
Totally.
Oh my god.
Or what the dog ate to cause that.
Yeah,
that's
the
nuts.
only saving grace was they were relatively firm and not too much to clean up.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, that's good. Not explosive diarrhea.
Yes. Oh,
yeah, exactly.
Be a disaster.
It was manageable.
Excellent.
Dave, do you have one?
Actually, I don't. I was so busy this morning, running around doing a bunch of stuff, cleaning up and everything. I didn't even think about it.
My Let's Get Shitty is I am very excited that our government is doing something to send us some kind of money during these insane fucking times. But my Let's Get Shitty is I think the Republicans are disgusting for bailing out corporations yet again. Because I'm sorry, I saw this quote and I think it's the best thing I've heard. capitalism is so great, then why does socialism need to bail it out?
Yeah.
And I think that these Republicans who are so against socialism is the biggest bullshit. That in 2008 they needed to be bailed out then, and now with the trillions of dollars going to these corporations, it's like, fuck you. You corporations don't pay taxes.
Yeah.
Why should you get our tax money to help you?
I mean, yes, you're right. I mean, I have nothing. I'm not gonna.
You. The country needs to be spending money to. We should be all on universal health care, and that's where the money should be going towards. And the money should be going and the money should be going back to the pandemic office that Trump fired last year. So this probably wouldn't have been so blown up if that office was still operational.
I mean, I have nothing else. I agree. Well said.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
It's one of
my
those
favorite.
it's fucking bullshit.
Yeah, the whole thing
my
is
favorite
like,
new quote.
yeah.
And anybody who talks to me about socialism, I'm just going to say, if capitalism is so great, then why does socialism need to bail it out?
Well, it's like they don't. It's like when there's a bailout for like a cruise ship, they're like, oh, it's like the free market or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But then when people need money, it's like, oh, crowd, the socialism. Like, it's,
Yeah, how are we going to get that money? We can't spend it on that. You know, it's just it's crazy.
socialism is bailing out like corporations and cruise ships, and like
It is.
that's socialism. Like that's what it is. Like,
But it's even more socialism if these corporations don't pay taxes. They pay less than us.
Most
Fuck you. Like, if they were paying more tax money, then I'd be fine with it.
Yeah. Well, most cruise lines don't even operate out of the U.S. They're like in those like shell company countries. Like they're
that's
based
a whole other can of worms.
It's like it's like you're asking for money that you don't technically, you're not even operating out of this country. So it's a mess.
Completely. They
It's a
shouldn't be
mess.
allowed to. If they are operating out of this country, then you got to find that country's money. You don't get our money.
Yeah. No, I get it.
It's a very valid thing to be fucking pissed about right now.
I mean, the tax breaks that happened a few years ago, same thing. That went to like the richest people in the country. So it's not really, and like they're supposed to be helping like the middle class and workers. It did nothing. It affected
There's
nothing.
no such thing as trickle down economics.
No,
it's only trickle up.
Yeah, it's horseshit.
And I'm sick and fucking tired of it.
Yeah. Well, that's why voting's important. Well, look, we're gonna flush this stuff down the tubes. There we go. So I'm
They're so good.
I'm gonna do a quick little news story. So give me 1 sec. I'm gonna play a little news bumper, and then we'll go right into it. Yes. So this story, this actually, I think Ellen might have sent this to me again. This was. This is more like a visual thing, but I can sort of like anybody at home that's going to listen to this they can already sort of visualize this particular story. This happened, I think, 3 or 4 years ago in Russia somewhere, and a whole poop truck, like a what do you call a sewage truck, a septic tank carrier, whatever you want to call it, exploded in traffic.
I saw this video.
It's fucking crazy. So there was like some dash cam footage from, I believe, a cab or something like that. There's a little city in Russia somewhere, or it's a subway station, I should say, near Moscow. And it was like, a crowded street like anywhere else in any major metropolitan area. And this big giant truck pulls up to the stoplight, just waiting for it to turn green. And then within like 5 seconds, the whole back part of this, the ass section of this thing just explodes everywhere onto cars, buses. And again, we don't have smell-o-vision, but I can imagine it must have been like just god awful.
I just watched it. I wish I was in person with you, but because we're not, I can do this. I just watched the video.
It was spewing poop water everywhere. And like my favorite part,
it's a giant explosion.
Yeah, huge explosion. Like it's like literally the ass section of this truck just shitted out. Like literally, it just
Oh man.
And I don't speak Russian, but I can imagine they're probably like, what the fuck is that smell?
Did it say why it happened? Was it just too full?
I didn't get any information on that. It was mainly like a video type of thing, like a kind of like, oh, it's a funny video, which I mean, it's funny to look at if you're not in traffic, but there was like a little like SUV car to the left of the truck that just got like, I mean, shellacked with this shit. Like, it was terrible.
You can see it, the whole truck takes like a jump. Like,
yeah,
it's like boom, like it takes a big bump as it like explodes.
It's like the truck shit its pants and it just fucking exploded.
Yeah.
The truck chose floor. It did. Yeah, it's not much of a news story, but I've been wanting to talk about this because I just thought it was so funny and like it just seemed like it looked as if it was like a practical joke or something. And the fact that the driver had to like you start as the video is playing, you see the door open up from the cab of the truck, and the guy's like probably like, oh my god, what the fuck happened? How do I deal with this? Oh, so it was a giant mess.
I saw the video, and the first thing I thought about is like, how did the person doing this video know? Like, they had the camera ready to go.
No, I think it was just on. I think it was like a cab or something like that, or like maybe it's a truck or something like that. It's like a dash. Maybe it was a cop. I don't know. But it was just on.
Yeah, somebody following the truck.
Yeah, because it was like just. I think it was like the dash cam was like one or two. I think it was like one car behind the truck.
It's driving, and it's driving next to the shit covered SUV.
Oh, it's so disgusting.
If you keep watching the video, it's driving next to the shit covered SUV for a minute.
It's really foul. But I imagine, like, afterwards, was there like a giant diaper truck or some kind of truck with a like a paper towel truck that just came by and like sopped it all up? Like, what the fuck? Like, who? I couldn't imagine having to clean that mess up. It would have been the worst day. It would have been the worst day at work.
Again, a moral conundrum. If you choose floor, somebody's got to clean it up.
Someone's got to clean that up.
That's my problem.
Yeah. Ugh.
Exactly.
Well, anyway, Luke, thanks so much for being on the show, man.
Yeah.
Really fun being here. And if you ever have Kyle back, you're going to have him tell you a story I forgot to tell you, which was you can choose floor or pants, but you can also choose jack-o'-lantern. You'll know what I'm talking about.
Yes. Oh my God.
And then also have him explain IBS and WBS, which is not what you think it is. IBS is itchy butthole syndrome, and WBS is weeping butthole syndrome. So he can get into that with you because those are his things. But yeah, thank you very much. I'm really glad you guys had me. It's definitely been the highlight of my day here in quarantine.
Excellent. Well, I mean,
when we can see each other in person again, we should totally have you and Kyle on together.
Yeah.
I would love that.
And
hopefully we'll have more stories to tell.
Yeah, well, we can go over all the acronyms, so that's pretty good.
And Luke, if people want to find you on socials, where can they find you?
I am not on the socials. I am a non-presence.
Wow,
you're smart.
I am. It's my choice. It's not for any particular reason. But I don't have Facebook or any of the grams or whatever. I'm on Skype.
Well, you know what? Your presence was all we needed. So the next time I have you on, it'll be a nice little treat.
Yeah. And thank you guys for doing this. I appreciate it. I really hope you guys are doing okay there up in New York. You know, I keep thinking about the city and hoping everybody up there is doing good. And
it's a little crazy, but it's a little crazy. But we're managing. Like doing this show is like a nice little break in the madness. So it gives us something to do. But again, though, thanks.
Exactly.
But stay safe out there.
Yeah, you too, guys. Thank you very much for having me. It was a lot of fun.
But happy pooping, everybody, and toot toot toot.
Hey Poopy Podcast is brought to you by Perfect 4 Entertainment. Produced by Dave and Ellen, with executive producer Stormy Leather, edited by me, Dave.
For more information, go to heypoopypodcast.com for episodes, merch, and more. Follow us on Instagram at Hey Poopy Podcast and Twitter at Hey Poopy. Theme song by Jordan Perlson. Hey Poopy.